This is Margaret Morris-Calderon. This accident happened August the 28th, 2014 in Madison County, Huntsville, Arkansas. Approximate time was about 4:30 p.m. I had just left the post office to check my mail and was headed out of Huntsville on Lee Street at stop sign 71 Business has 2 lanes. Lee Street is 2 lanes. I was at the stop on 71 Business in Lee. I wanted to go eastbound across westbound, make a left-hand turn. My left turn signal was on. I was looking both ways at the stop. The right side had a tree blocking my view. I rolled a little forward to see around it. I have a Facebook with photos of these pictures in Maggie A. Morris-Calderon, Calderon, in photo album title Maggie's Car. After I saw cars coming from my right around the tree, I waited for them to clear. I looked to the left and saw more cars coming. Arkansas does not have a law established any time frame to signal, so a person can be right at their turning point and signal there for one signal flash only, and it's legal. So I was waiting to see who was going to come down my way before I could cross over, and there was about 2 cars that signaled at the last minute to turn right. I was waiting and they turned. There was a space, and the man that hit me was after that space. He started signaling ahead of time. There was a space behind him, so I thought in my mind, once he turns, I can pull out because there's nobody going to be behind him for a little while, and I will be clear. There was a lady sitting at a merge lane on off a different highway, entering 71 Business westbound, going to follow the man that hit me. She was looking over her left shoulder to see who was going to come around a bend to make her own merge after her yield. Once she saw the man that hit me pass by her from her left shoulder, she saw there was no one behind him, saw the same thing I did, and she finished her yield and continued to make her right turn, was behind the man that hit me, probably 2 or 3 cars length. And the man had a signal light on that hit me to turn right. He was headed to the right, his wheels were to the right, there was a space behind him. This lady was in a Suburban or sedan. It was a big vehicle, so anyone behind her wasn't going to be able to see what was happening in front of her. She only saw what happened at point of impact. When she got up close enough to the driver in front of her, we crashed. So she doesn't know how long I was sitting there or if I had my signal light on. She doesn't know anything I was doing because she was looking after herself first. She testified to the police officer that I just jumped out of there out of nowhere, and the man didn't have any signal light on. He was going straight. She made up her own story, and when the police officer came, just before he got there, we both called in on this. I called the 911 at 4:30, I believe it was, and the police officer came and heard the man that hit me apologize, saying, "I'm going to take the blame for this. I did have my signal light on." He was saying he had it on, and then at one point he said he turned it off, and I told him he never turned it off. It was on the whole time. The officer heard him at the scene of the accident say these things. He said to me, "Are you okay? Are you good enough to drive your car off the street? We've got to back up a traffic here." I said, "Yes, I can." He coached us to park in front of the fire station in their parking, in their driveway. Why he did that, I don't know why, but we did. We were sitting there at the Huntsville fire station. This recording is of that time. After the police officer said what he did on his record on this recording, he said he was going to go make his report. While he was making his report, he left the man and myself together alone. And I asked him, I said, why did you not turn? I still wanted to know. None of it made sense to me. He said, when I came up to Lee Street to turn right, I looked down the street you were coming off of, and I saw a white truck with a trailer hitched to it backing into that auto shop, and I took a different route. I didn't want that route. I took this route. And that was his exact words. He called it route. And I looked, and sure enough, there was a white truck with a trailer parked in front of the auto repair, and he was talking to the owner about a four-wheeler on the back of his little, he was a long trailer hitch. And I have photos of that in my Facebook under Maggie A. Morris-Calderon. Photo album title, My Car. It's open to the public. All the pictures of this accident are there. I got to talk to the police officer after he made his report, and I said, well, I finally got to find out why he didn't make that turn. And he said, why is that? I said, because he saw a truck, and I explained to him the same thing I just testified, and he heard everything. He heard the man take the blame. He was apologetic. He said he had his signal light on, but the police officer made a false report. He said I failed to yield to stop. He didn't put down the man had his signal light on to turn. He just said the man was going straight, and I basically ran out in front of him. When I found this out, I told him that it was a lie. His supervisor was there and listened to me tell the whole story of everything. The police officer got really angry with me, and he was lying, and I said, do you want to hear it on recording? I have my recorder with me. He said no, he would not let his supervisor hear the recording, and they refused to do anything about the report. So I have a false report made by this police officer here in the Huntsville Police Department. The report number is, it's open to the public, it's $10 to get a copy of this report. It's 082814-OIC. Ramirez, police officer, 260 badge. And here is what happened at the time of the accident. My recorder to start. I had my signal light on to turn left, and the oncoming traffic and westbound had his signal light on to turn right. He failed to turn, make a complete turn. He did a quarter turn. His left front blinker was crushed because his point of car that stuck out the farthest was his front left bumper, because he was making a right-hand turn. I have pictures of this in my photo album. Did you say you had your signal light on?
Hey, you guys just be quiet for me right now, okay? Can you go back over there and stand for me?
I heard him.
Can you go back over there and stand for me? I'm not going to ask you again. Thank you.
Because she says he didn't.
I'm not going to ask you again. Do you understand?
I seen your signal light on when you were coming down the street, and I heard you tell the officer it was on. So if you want to lie, lady, it's on your conscience.
Hey, I said hush, okay? Thank you very much. Now, you want to tell me your side of it?
I was pulling out. I had a complete stop. I waited for several cars to pass. I saw 2 cars pass me with their signal lights to turn in here. He was following behind them. He turned his signal light on too, so I pulled out. When I pulled out, he collided into me because he went straight. I was already out. Look how far I was out.
I understand that, but you said you already had he had his blinker on?
Yes, he had his blinker on about to that left turn place, just right about that, in front of this auto repair shop right here. He turned his signal light. I saw him come about right to this point in front of the fire station at that walkway right there. I started pulling out because he was signaling that he was going to turn right. I felt safe to pull out. There was nobody coming alongside of me. What would this be going on 412 business going east?
West, yeah.
And east was clear. He was going west. No, I'd be west.
He'd be going west.
Yeah, he'd be going west, turning right, just like this guy is right here.
Okay. Well,
and I pulled out. I had the whole front end of my car out there thinking he was going to be safe. He pulled out and hits the back of my car, and I'm shocked that he did not turn. I'm like, why didn't he turn? You know? And he's apologizing to me, asking if I'm okay first. He was being apologetic. I said, why did you have your signal light on? You were signaling, your wheels were turning, and he says, I know, but I turned it off when I changed my mind. And I says, no, they were never off. They were never off.
Okay, and two, ma'am, okay. If he did have a signal light on, say he does, I'm with you on this one, okay? Say he did have a signal light on and he was going to turn. Say he forgot it was on and he was just going to keep going straight. Still, you are a failure to yield to him.
I did.
Still, you are a failure to yield to him. You don't know if he's really turning or not. That is why you wait. Okay? And I'm just telling you,
I was there waiting.
A signal light is to give you the idea that he is going to turn so you can prepare yourself to take off.
And his wheels were turning to turn.
All right, your license, registration, proof of insurance.
His wheels were turning to turn. And I was sitting for several cars to pass me. I was sitting there for a moment. No rolling stop, not a little second minute thing. I had several cars that had passed me before he got to me. It was very busy at that moment. And I had been sitting there waiting for a chance to get out.
Okay. All right. I'm going to talk to him now, okay? You want to sit in your vehicle or you want to stand outside
I can stand right here.
All right. Everything's still the same when you told me a while ago. So you were coming, where'd you pull out of? Opposite highway? Can you remain back over there for me?
I'm here by my car.
Can you remain back over there for me?
I'm right by my car. I'm leaning
again?
I'm leaning on my car.
If you want to play hardball with me, ma'am, I can put you in cuffs and put you in the back of my car.
I'm against my car right now.
Can you go ahead and have a seat in your car for me?
Sure.
Can you shut the door for me?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Officer A.C. Ramirez, 2, badge number 260.
They're walking away from me. They don't want to be recorded.
Okay, now what you're saying, sir? He is telling me the same thing that you did tell me, man.
Yeah, he had his signal light and his wheels were turning. Look how far my car was out.
I understand. He is.
Look how far he hit the rear end of my car. Why would I be pulling out in front of a car coming at me after I've been sitting there for a while waiting for cars to pass by?
Okay, will you listen to me now? I listen to you. Will you listen to me? Okay. He's saying the exact same thing you told me. He said he shut his blinker off. He said he shut his blinker off. Okay, and you pulled out. He didn't have time to stop whenever you pulled out because you thought he was turning, correct?
And he apologized, and he said it was his. He said he would take the blame that he did have a signal light on.
Thank you. He what? I'm sorry.
When we hit, he asked if I was okay. I said, why did you have your signal light on? And he says, I'm so sorry. I will take the blame, but are you okay? I know I had my signal light on, but then I turned it off. I said, no, it was never off. My car was all the way out. He hit the rear end of my car.
All right. Give me just a minute, okay? I'm going to get your guys' report started, okay?